franktalks.com.
This is an exclusive excerpt from the STUPH File program with Peter Anthony Holder.
We've often had relationship coach Frank Kermit on the show to talk about matters of the heart, but this time around we are talking about something more personal to Frank. Over the last few years, Frank has managed to lose over 200 pounds. Why he did it and how he did it, and more importantly, how others can do it, is what we're talking about now. He joins us via Skype from right here in Montreal. Hi, Frank.
Hello, sir, and how are you?
Just tickety-boo. Thanks very much for being on the program with us once again. So you started to lose weight, seriously lose weight, a couple of years ago. What was it that brought you to the brink of saying this has to be done and this has to be done now?
Okay, I was 460 pounds, and I got a call from my doctor in April of 2020. COVID had just hit. We had just gone into lockdown. And instead of going to see my doctor in person for some blood test results, he called me at home. And he said those words, "Frank, you have diabetes." Now, I've always been a big guy, but I've never had high blood pressure. I've never had diabetes. Every time I did a blood test, usually the doctors would look at me and say, "Are you sure these are your results?" Because being a bigger guy, everybody just assumes that I'm going to have a lot of health issues and not just a few like I did. But when he said, "Frank, you have diabetes," my identity changed. I went from being the big guy who makes it happen. I went from being the fat friend who makes everybody laugh. My identity changed. I became the diabetic, and I watched diabetes totally destroy my father's health. And I said, no, I don't want this. You know, as soon as I got the diagnosis, I got a prescription to test my blood sugar and, to poke a hole in my finger and so on. And after a couple of days of that, I just said, no, I'm not doing this. I need to get rid of this diabetes and I need to get healthy, and that's it. And that was the beginning of it. I struggled for a number of months. From April to about November, I had only lost about 12 pounds, so I wasn't making any progress. I had been on a waiting list for bariatric surgery for some time, always saying, no, I'm not ready to do it. Who else is going to earn money to keep the family off the street? But this time I decided, look, regardless if I have to go into debt, borrow money, whatever the case is, I can't put it off anymore. So in the month of November, I went on a pre-op diet, lost 30 pounds in about 30 days. So going into the bariatric surgery, I had lost 42 pounds. Did the bariatric surgery, and recovery was rough. Let me tell you, suddenly having a smaller stomach, not being able to overeat, and having a smaller stomach also means that a lot of my food sensitivities became apparent. There were things that I could no longer digest. For example, I don't drink coffee anymore. Coffee is something that, although there was nothing wrong with coffee, I love a good cup of coffee, my body couldn't take the coffee. I was just having really bad experiences. So I had to stop drinking coffee. And somewhere along the way, I had eventually lost about 140 pounds, and I started to stall. I was about 320 at this point. And stalling at 320, I said, I got to do something new. So what I did is that I got a very physical job. It's a big box department store, hardware store. And I struggled to walk. I mean, I went from not being able to put on my own socks and shoes and not being able to walk from the bed to the living room. And now I'm working a physical job. The first few months were brutal. I started to invest some money in orthotics and other types of support gear. I'm still wearing the support gear now to help me with the pain. And this journey is I've just learned so much about myself. Things I learned include, I've always needed orthotics. I've had pain in my feet for years, but every time I would bring it up to the doctor would say, well, lose weight, your feet won't hurt anymore. And I lost 200 pounds. My feet still hurt. It wasn't the weight.
One of the things that's always been interesting about you is, again, we've had you on the program on various occasions and also on my old radio show talking about relationships, because you were a relationship coach. You are a relationship coach. And one of the personality traits about you is you like to help people. So I'm assuming, I've looked at your website now. I'm assuming that with this weight loss that you've done, that you're now helping people in different ways.
I am on the path to becoming a full-fledged health coach. I basically want to share my story and help other people in the way that I believe I would have wanted to have been helped. I want to say things to people in a way that I would have needed to hear. For example, one of the things I always thought was, well, I'm in chronic pain because I'm obese. And once I got the orthotics, and once I was no longer in that level of pain working a physical job, that's when it clicked for me. I'm not in chronic pain because I'm obese. I became obese because I've always been in chronic pain. Instead of dealing with the pain, I just figured, well, everybody deals with this kind of foot pain. It never occurred to me that my chronic pain was leading to the obesity. And I started looking at different things like, okay, I don't like myself because I'm obese. No, I became obese because there were days I didn't like myself. And as long as I remember, and this was the biggest lesson of all, obesity is the symptom, not the problem. And that changed everything for me. Once I understood that obesity is the symptom of whatever the real problem is. So if you focus on diet and you focus on exercise, those are very important. I now exercise daily with the physical job. I encourage myself to go out for walks. I'm doing a lot more activities with my family. I'm physically capable, but I'm going above and beyond, spending even more time with my family, doing a lot more physical outings. Exercise and watching what you eat are very important, but all they're doing is tackling the symptom of it. The majority of people who lose a lot of weight tend to put the weight back on because the real issue, the fundamental core hurt is not being addressed, and it's going to come back. And that's right now, I am focusing on my mental health, and I'm learning a lot there too. And I now feel, so for those of you who are listening, I dealt with crippling anxiety almost all my life and didn't even realize it, didn't know it. I am now experiencing 25 to 50% less anxiety day to day than I ever have before. It's a whole new existence.
Is there a part of you that is worried about gaining some of the weight back?
I'm terrified, absolutely terrified. In order for me to keep the weight off, I need to deal with the mental health issues that contributed to my obesity, and I'm working on that as we speak. And I have committed to establishing a lifestyle where exercise is going to be a regular part of it. Because it's easy to say, no, I got to work on my business. I got to work on this plan. I got to write the next book. I got to, there's always something to do other than take care of my health.
Now, you're also putting the work in on yourself, as I mentioned earlier, but also putting the work in on helping others. So to that point, you have become an ISSA certified fitness professional. You can help other people down the path that you have already gone down. When people go to your website, and mention your website right now, and what will they find?
All right. I have just set up a new website. I'm not stopping the relationship coaching. This is going to be a second stream of coaching. The website is called obeserecovery.com because I treat obesity like an addiction. And when we are trying to get healthy, it's actually a form of recovery. I'm currently researching the 12-step programs because I'm going to come up with my own 12-step programs for obesity that's going to be not based on religion, but self-accountability and and connecting with the community, looking for support there by building a community around us. I am really trying to piece together a team. I'm looking for personal trainers, I'm looking for nutritionists, I'm looking for dietitians, all of whom can contribute to this goal, and that is to help people struggling with obesity find their healthy selves.
Speaking of goals, have you reached your goal weight?
No, my goal weight is to lose another 50 pounds. Okay, I want to be at 200, and I know that's still a bit bigger than what would be scientifically predetermined to be, but I'm happy. I've been 200 pounds. I was incredibly happy then. I felt very healthy. I looked good. That's what I'm aiming for. I want to lose another 50 pounds. I also have skin removal surgery coming up sometime in the next 2 years. Not going to be a pleasant experience, but I think that being on this journey is just something I'm going to have to do so that I can live a more active lifestyle that I'm aiming for.
And again, the website is?
obeserecovery.com.
Congratulations on all that you've done. People can go to the website and take a look at it, including some before and after pictures, which are absolutely astounding. And as I look at the pictures, I say you look healthy now, but if you say you want to go another 50 more pounds, that's entirely up to you. You look great. I'll just say that right now.
Thanks. I got to tell you, though, that people have been telling me, you must be so happy. You must feel really good. And on the one hand, I do appreciate the fact that I'm more active and that I can do more than I did before. On the other hand, though, I'm focusing on all of the work I have yet to do. I want to write a book about my experience in conquering obesity. There's so much I want to research. I'm learning about self-esteem. I'm learning about trauma. I'm doing some mental health certifications, so I will be able to coach people and help them with their issues on this journey of conquering obesity. But I'm still battling this sense of, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? And I know you're saying I look good, and I think I look healthier, but I still look at the road ahead with so much more that I want to get done and that I have to do. To be honest, I feel uncomfortable talking about it, but I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone even in doing interviews like this, because I think that just like I would have needed to hear somebody on their journey while they're on their journey, that would be motivating for me. I'm hoping that I'll be able to inspire others.
Well, continued success in what you've done so far and what you are doing. Again, the website is obeserecovery.com. Thanks for being on the program with us once again.
Thank you so much, sir, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Relationship coach Frank Kermit. You can check out his website at obeserecovery.com, and you can go to my website at thestuffile.com, check out the show number for this program, which is show number 0717, and you'll find the link to his site.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuff File program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestuffile.com. Stuff is spelled STUPH. That's thestuffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.